So I have a really deep appreciation for Hindu study and Indian classical music ever since I was young. And that kind of ties into my story um, uh, pertaining to my journey through music. And basically, I just want to start off by talking about how ironic it is that. Um, so I'm from a musical family. My father was a musician in Eastern Europe, and his father, and it's just down the lineage. And so our father took us here from Eastern Europe during, the communist takeover of Eastern Europe. So we escaped in 1980, and my father's dream was to raise his two sons here in America so that they could pursue whatever they wanted and have freedom. And so I followed in my father's footsteps, and I decided to be a musician. Now, I had a lot of positive feedback from friends and family, and my brother and I were very lucky. We received so much love and support to pursue music. Um, and so I grew up playing musical instruments. I started playing piano when I was six years old. I started playing bass when I was 14 years old, um, and guitar as well around that point. And then I took up flute later on after college, as well as starting to sing. So it was really interesting because for me, I grew up surrounded by music. Our father played us amazing music by Louis Armstrong and Earth, Wind and Fire, Mozart, Bach, the Beatles, the Eagles. So I grew up with like a lot of different styles of music. Um, and so I feel very fortunate for that. Um, I played in lots of different groups in high school. I got a chance to travel to Europe as a 14-year-old kid. Basically, the band would go to Europe and play music festivals every 4 years. And so I was really, really lucky to get in that band. However, at that point, I was playing piano. And so the teacher, the band instructor asked me if I would play bass. That's really how I started playing bass, because they needed to fill the bass chair in that band. So here I am, like a 14-year-old kid traveling to Europe. Really I've never had much experience playing this instrument, barely reading the notes on the page, but it was really, really amazing to be exposed to different cultures and going back to Europe, to my roots, sort of. Um, and it really, really uh, instilled in me a great appreciation for playing the bass. And um, I was really, really, really lucky. I excelled at that instrument. I ended up going to a Berklee College of Music, and I had a full tuition scholarship. So I was really, really fortunate for that. Now, this is where the story kind of turns a different direction, because there were so many people that were really, really pushing for me to go to school, and I ended up putting like a hyperinflated amount of pressure on myself. And so in college, because I really wanted to be good, and I had this full scholarship to this music school, um, I put a lot of pressure on myself, and developed a lot of anxiety and stress, um, and I developed pretty severe tendonitis as well. So there was a certain point in college where I couldn't play music, and I was at a music school with a full tuition scholarship at a music school. So just imagine how that feels. Basically, it was really, really difficult time for me, and I was learning, and I've been going full throttle playing, practicing several hours a day, and um, was really inspired up until that point where my body just broke down and I was stressed out, and so I ended up not finishing. Actually, I went back. I went to college from 1996 to 1999, and so I didn't finish initially. I came back home to California from Boston, and I just basically, also in college, I was introduced to Reiki as well. So I should draw that in. And that indirectly started helping me. I didn't realize its value till I got back to California and started exploring other instruments. So now I couldn't play bass anymore. So I was like, what was I going to do with myself? Basically, I began exploring music. I worked at a CD store, and I literally was exposed to music from all over the world. This is really when I started um, listening to Indian music. I also had a Pakistani friend in high school who played tabla, so I used to go over there and we jam. I played guitar, but I never really realized its value till I got back from school and I was exposed to all this music in the CD store. Well, anyway, I went to this really cool store in Berkeley, and I bought a Bansuri flute, and I started playing the Bansuri. I also started playing Japanese shakuhachi. These were instruments that I could play where I wouldn't injure myself. So essentially, I started looking to other instruments and other styles of music, to help me on my journey. And it really did help. I was very fortunate to live in California. I started hiking and doing lots of yoga. Um, and I was really through that I was really able to balance my mind and body and spirit. So I'm really fortunate that I had that difficult time in college, because it opened me up to so many other different aspects of music. Um, and it made me a richer musician as a result. So then, yeah, at that point, I started playing flute. And I was, through playing flute, hiking, meditation, yoga, Falun Dafa, Reiki, I was able to heal myself and to be able to continue. And then I was reintroduced to the bass, and I started playing the bass again. So yeah, that's basically in a nutshell my journey. I've been really fortunate to get a second chance, but there were those challenges. So yeah, that's that's basically my journey through music, and finding a path back to music that helped heal me. Really, it was ironic because I started my journey in music. I got to these crossroads, and then with music, I was able to heal myself. So that's my story. Um, and shall I play, guys?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. Here we go. I've been having a little trouble with my flute, so bear with me if it might sound like there's some leaks, but here we go.